Hello. So let's try today AIMCAT 2502 VARC section live attempt. तो start करते हैं AIMCAT 2502. Let us start right away. So let's start the test. Okay, so the first thing I do is I look at quickly all the passages. Every novel is a ideal plane inserted into the realms of reality. Cervantes, who wrote Don Quixote, take pleasure in confusing the objective and subjective, the word of the reader and the word of the book. Okay, second देखते हैं. Second passage talks about Ludwig Wittgenstein is one of the most influential philosophers of the 20th century and regarded by some most important since mankind. His earlier work culminated in tractate to only philosophy. During his lifetime, his later work has also done much to shape development. So Wittgenstein. Okay, so this one is about Wittgenstein philosophy. दोनों ही अभी तक बहुत अच्छे नहीं लगे हैं. Let's go to the third one. And this talks about it will surprise no one if I say that Machiavelli, the founder of modern political science, to be sure long before Machiavelli, the ancient writers had attempted to establish a science of politics. Okay, so this one is about Machiavelli. Machiavelli, तो ठीक है पढ़ा हुआ है इसके बारे में, बट इससे भी स्टार्ट नहीं कर सकते हैं. तो लेट्स लुक एट द लास्ट passage. Public diplomacy seems to be the latest buzzword billed as a key to reinvigorating democracy at home and winning hearts and minds abroad. Back to the world as place branding. Okay, इससे start किया जा सकता है. This one still looks okay. So चारों आर्ट्स देख ली है. Now I'll go to the VA section and attempt first. So VA section में first is odd one out. Now we are engaged in a great civil war, testing whether that nation or any nation so concealed, so dedicated, long endured. We are met on the great battlefield of that war. 407 years ago, our fathers brought on this continent. It is for us. Okay, this is Abraham Lincoln's speech at Gettysburg. 407 years ago, our fathers brought force. So इसको 3 से start कर सकते हैं. Now we are engaged in a great civil war. Okay, उसके बाद यहाँ जा सकते हैं. We are met on the great battlefield of that war. So civil war, the civil war connects with the great battlefield of that war, and it is for us. We have come to dedicate a portion of that battlefield to that field as the final resting place for those. It is for us the living rather to be dedicated here to the unfinished work. It is for us the living rather to be dedicated here to the unfinished work. So इसमें dead की कहीं बात नहीं हुई है तो rather doesn't really, or maybe it can come in the end because living जो मर गए डेड की बात एंड में हो रही है फिफ्थ में, तो फोर्थ कैन कम आफ्टर फिफ्थ एंड देयरफॉर इट इज द ऑड वन आउट, सो वी कैन मार्क सेफली हियर फोर्थ एज द आंसर. चार को आंसर मार्क कर देते हैं. Go to the next one. This has led them to suspect a link between liver cancer and too much bile acid. This has led them. Okay, so what has led them? Drinking too much, eating too much, both ways, but there's a third, disrupted circadian rhythms caused by rhythmic shifts or crossing time zones also seem to induce thirdness. So this led them. इसमें them is the operative word here. Them किसके लिए? We don't know. तो अभी तक जब तक them नहीं आएगा तब तक हम आगे बढ़ सकते हैं. Precisely how and why I'm link. तो second तक भी them नहीं आया. The study of population cancers was cell by Loning Fu and David Moore. Okay, अब आ गया them. So these two gentlemen in Texas shed some light. Dr. Fu and Dr. Moore knew circadian rhythms is made by liver. This led them to suspect link. They also knew. Okay, so knew and then they also knew. So third में आने के chance कम है इसलिए fourth में ठीक लग रहा है. This led them to suspect a link between liver cancer. To take a closer look, they set up an experiment. Looks much better in fourth because 3 में अगर आएगा तो new or फिर also new does not make sense. So बहुत clear clue था. Option 4 looks to be the answer. Let's go to the next one. Ploy is not working. Which ploy? China's President Xi Jinping is unlikely to put suicide when he meets one counterpart with the spirit of a storm with over sunny lands. Chinese policy bonds are struck by the argument that the Spartans fear of growing power. Why can't they the war inevitable? The ploy is not working. Will not fit here. कोई मतलब नहीं. Their insistence China wants a peaceful row. Is intended to calm such worries. Okay, Chinese are insisting. China wants a peaceful rise. Is intended. Quote में है. The ploy is not working. Looks like it. Second में आ जाएगा. This is the ploy. Peaceful rise. China's relation with America deteriorated in recent years, raising the specter of conflict by sending neighbors coming back. The ploy कोई sense नहीं है third में. But response has been a pivot. Ploy की कोई मतलब नहीं. Ploy is Chinese ploy of peaceful rise. Very clear, very easy. So we'll mark option 2 and move ahead. So let's go to the next question. अभी तक तो ठीक ठाक चल रहा है. Those who followed curriculum revision movement in recent years no doubt have been impressed by the frequency the word tentative as used in describing it. Sometimes the impression given the most prominent characteristic curriculum is the persistent ability of the future to make up its mind. But the practice re-examining handed down one the wholesome one. Question to be raised is not regarding the values of flexibility and openness to changing conditions, but whether or not tentativeness carried beyond the point may not signal weakness in education. Some educators say problem is not whether the program can go indefinitely without deciding what will. Curriculum revision की बात हो रही है यहाँ पे tentative impression given that most prominent characteristic person inability to make up his mind. So re-examining handed down even from is it really wholesome. तो चेंज करना करिकुलम बहुत अच्छी बात है लेकिन इनसे हो नहीं पा रहा है और ये फ्लेक्सिबिलिटी के चक्कर में अभी तक फिक्स ही नहीं कर पा रहे करिकुलम समथिंग लाइक दैट बीइंग मेंशन्ड हियर लेट्स लुक एट the option the best way to best यही पे गलत हो गया there is no best or worst way tentativeness in curriculum design leads to too much open flexibility too much flexibility there was challenging and defeating the idea okay इसको रख सकते हैं curriculum revision movement is especially not tentative no this is not the main idea of this in recent years curriculum planners have not been able to adequately describe course composition and objective okay तो यहाँ पे curriculum movement in recent years no doubt have been influenced impressed तो recent years is important here बिकॉज ये रिसेंट ईयर्स में नहीं कर पाए हैं यहाँ पे सेकंड में रिसेंट ईयर्स की कोई बात नहीं होगी इसलिए फोर्थ ईयर लेट्स गो नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन for the Athenian demos the point in substance of Athenian democracy was precisely to live in freedom together what gave it enduring power what gave it was sustained for nearly 2 centuries the democracy of Athens began with the creation of a community capable of political agency it was sustained for nearly 2 centuries by the effective defense, but what gave its enduring power of the political imagination? So, 2, 3, and 4, they look to be quite okay. There is no way of optimizing that experience in an uncontentious formula. For the Athenian demo, the point in substance of Athenian democracy was precisely to live in freedom together. तो यहाँ पे 1 और 5 में मुझे चैलेंज लगा इसको भी छोड़ देते हैं we keep it for later I'm not very sure in this okay during the 60s Marshall McLuhan wrote Gutenberg Galaxy where he announced a linear way of thinking new very natural was a global way of perceiving and understanding through TV images kind of term device what is curious is that media started to celebrate the decline of literacy and overwhelming power of media just the moment in which on the world thing appears. The computer is not just an instrument. We can five on the screen and the word line. Be able to read nine lessons. Computer may continue. People spend their night engaging, non-ending. Okay, television can be considered. One watches the screen an ideal look. Pretty long one. Main idea looks like Gutenberg में इन्होंने linear way of thinking बताया था. Invention of press. उसके बाद टीवी आ गया और उसके बाद मीडिया आ गया और कंप्यूटर आ गया. कंप्यूटर में प्री अल्फाबेटिक इंस्ट्रूमेंट है. कंप्यूटर में वापस हम लोग जा रहे हैं. Towards interest. When Marshall McLuhan wrote his Gutenberg, the media needed time to accept that suggestion of the world becoming an image and computer declared evolved. But the appearance of computer had made the media reinforce the belief literacy of paramount importance. Paramount importance ऐसी कोई बात नहीं वन को इन्वॉल्व कर सकते हैं. Classical computer provides a linear sort screen displays ये बिल्कुल ही गलत है एकदम. Uniqueness has been replaced by, but the media was wrong to celebrate the decline of literacy as the computer return of computers enabled a return to the Gutenberg galaxy. Linear way of thinking and reading. This Gutenberg galaxy is taken literally here, which I don't think is correct. Images could take one away from linear way of thinking, but the computer reinforced the neutral thinking and the awareness to go to line reading. This looks perfectly fine. इसको लगा देंगे और आगे चलेंगे. Now we are on the last one. Probably the earliest known domestic animal was the dog, likely the earliest. Domestication animals, the oldest documented instance. Domesticated species are those whose behavior has been altered as a result of the breeding and living conditions of the remote control for multiple generations. It eventually resulted in the population of wild animals species. Okay. Eventually resulted probably the earliest known dog. Domestication of animals. Domesticated animals are those. Okay, so who's start कर सकते हैं. Domestication is the oldest documented instance. It eventually resulted in habituation of wild animal. ठीक है, 2 के बाद 4 पे जा सकते हैं. Domesticated species are those whose behavior, life cycle, and physiology have been altered, and perhaps the earlier known. So 2, 4, 3, 1 looks to be the sequence here. 2, 4, 3, 1. 2, 4, 3. POV skill for question here between 20th to year. Okay. When we are left, we completely suffer from shortage of data. The person who values the difference between those mental, emotional, adds to knowledge and understanding. An effective person can also appreciate the rich resources. It hides mother. Person who's fully effective in the humility. That person, 1 in 3 years, so appreciate. Effective person can appreciate, can also appreciate. So 2 से start कर सकते हैं इसको. 2, 1 and 3 and then 4. Okay. So let's now go to the passages about the diplomacy. We are not doing very well on time. The public democracy diplomacy seems to be the latest buzzword, billed as the key to reinvigorating democracy at home and winning hearts and minds abroad. This practice overlaps with place branding, which can be considered effective to manage, if not necessarily wield, the social power of communication by using strategical development in the commercial sector. It through linked to public diplomacy, place branding tries to affect the image and perception of foreign as well as domestic community regarding trade and identity, village, states, region, or cities. Okay. Both public diplomacy and place branding use social power by promoting new norms and values and occasionally pushing new standards. Place branding is inherently part of the constructivist paradigm. In simple ways, understanding the types of actors have been principal shapings, losing power with the ability to consume relevance. Public diplomacy के बारे में बात हो रही है, इसमें place branding से भी रेफर कर रहा है, closely linked, affect image कर रहा है, social power use करते हैं, ठीक है. What is the basic idea that in order to achieve a wide range of goals from economic community, you need to get support of ordinary. The goal is to convince foreign people the rise of China poses no threat or to support Arab Street, diplomacy fought upon towards miracles. These both classical tools such as TV and radio, but of course, student exchange as well as opportunity offered. Because इस तरह से पैसेज वो पढ़ रहे हैं, मैं quickly बता दूं आपको. Just whether the goal is to convince foreign public that the rise of China, ये पढ़ने की कोई डिटेल की जरूरत ही नहीं आपको. You can just quickly skim over it and go because you don't need to know the very minute details here. Although public diplomacy has been practiced in some shape or form for centuries, it has only gained prominence decade. Two factors responsible for public diplomacy: the belief that possible to legitimate and thereby rise of which makes it possible to reach these foreign places in the first place to tools and technology. The rise of public diplomacy suggests that globalization and democracy can and even should go hand in hand. Public diplomacy is hip, but also develops especially mainly propaganda. Because we have sanitized the approach and make sure it's also engage different publics to open debate. Government may well do better to use celebrities to agenda, use credibility. For example, our boards may have done more to raise the awareness. Therefore, signing the Bible with real creating, real photo, non-selected plain active. Okay, so this basically passage is about public diplomacy, place branding, where आप use करते हो private लोगों को भी, and you have the tools, and basically you want to shape people's perception and build their understanding about issues which you think are important. Public diplomacy. Okay, okay. Which of these following hypothetical statements would not strengthen the author's prediction in the last sentence? Last sentence क्या है? Goals may have done more. New media already non-state actors play an active role in the area that used to be the playground for diplomats. Okay? Only through implementation of ideas that obtain consensus in open debates is possible to shape public opinion. तो ये तो उसको restrict कर रहा है, कह रहा है कि सिर्फ आपको open debates में जो ideas आते हैं उसमें consensus आना चाहिए तो ही implement हो सकता है. तो ये कहाँ से strengthen कर रहा है? Decreasing gap between the awareness levels of diplomats and those of NGOs has made latter more output. Yes, ये कह रहा है यहाँ पे. तो ये strengthen कर देगा इसको. New media ensure that ordinary people understand international politics better than yes, new media tools. Ordinary people are more likely to trust the opinions of celebrities. ठीक है, celebrity तो fine. इसमें ये तीनों ठीक है, ये वाला strengthen नहीं कर रहा है. Should be the answer. The next question. The primary purpose of citing the example of Al Gore is Al Gore का example पे चलते हैं. के आसपास क्या लिखा हुआ था उसमें? It assumes the government may well do better to use NGOs and celebrities to set the agenda and use their credibility and star power. For example, तो Al Gore का example इसी के बाद दिया हुआ तो ऐसा कुछ set the agenda option मिलना चाहिए हमें. Summarization we can pre-think and predict also कि क्या option मिलना चाहिए. तो setting the agenda के celebrity को use करके ये उसका purpose है. Celebrities are not shying away from tactic inconvenient truths. Shying away की बात नहीं है. Star power and its credibility raised awareness about climate change where diplomatic channels failed. Channel failed हुआ है क्या ऐसा? ऐसा तो नहीं बोल रहा. Non-state actor should be roped in by government for setting agenda setting. Yes, ये बोल रहा है agenda setting. All right, so it looks third is okay. Diplomats aren't as charismatic as the charisma की कोई बात नहीं है. So third looks to be the correct answer here. Let's go to the next one. Which of the following comes closest in meaning to the author's understanding of place branding? Place branding कहाँ लिखा हुआ था? Place branding यहाँ पे. Second, first one लिखा हुआ. It is closely linked to place diplomacy. Place branding, which can be considered an effort to manage the social power of a geographical location using strategy in commercial sector, closely to public diplomacy, tries to affect the image and perception of foreign domestic. ठीक है, तो आप territorial entity के image set करने जा रहे हो. Turning a geographic territory into brand with a commercial movement. Influence the perception of territorial entity using agency of territorial act. Yes, this looks okay. Shaping international नहीं, सिर्फ international नहीं है, इसमें domestic community की भी करना है, इसलिए ये गलत है. Using social power, uploading new norms and values नहीं. So second looks to be right. Okay, yeah. So let's mark second. He also tries to prove that public diplomacy is not merely propaganda and updated news by army. ये सिर्फ एक old wine and new bottle नहीं है. तो ये यहाँ पे लिखा हुआ. It is not merely. तो ये क्यों बोल रहा है? Is it not merely this? But public diplomacy goes beyond a centralized hierarchy and makes serious efforts to engage public. It's possible and legitimate to influence foreign audiences. Engage people in open debate. ये लिखा हुआ है, engage public in open debate about issues which are considered of great importance. Yes, यहाँ पे आंसर मिल गया हमको. Let's look at the rest. Rise of public diplomacy show that globalization and democracy will go hand in hand. ऐसा नहीं बोल रहा है. The agenda of public diplomacy now set back. बिल्कुल नहीं. So second is the correct answer. यहीं पे आपको मिल गया इसमें. So this looks okay. We have 23 minutes left. Okay, let's go to the Machiavelli वाला पैकेज पहले कर लेते हैं. Will surprise no one if I say that Machiavelli is the founder of modern political science. To be sure, long before Machiavelli, the ancient writers had attempted to establish science and politics. Period the ancient, so it was alleged, came not from their efforts to establish science and politics, but the want of method in attempting to do so. The change of methodological naivety that was brought against the ancient by Machiavelli, Bacon, Hobbes, and others. Okay. The idea that Machiavelli is the founder of political modern is by no means self-evident. He needs to make none of the bold experimental moves more quickly associated with Hobbes. Most liberal prince follow the traditional genre of mirror principle goes back to Xenophon, longest traditional book discloses takes from commentary on the first 10 books of what could be more traditional. Yet Machiavelli is modernity considered in his methodological innovations than his break from the traditional authority of his predecessors. तो Machiavelli के बारे में बात कर रहा है. Judge, so is none of the bold experiment ऐसा नहीं करता है, लेकिन फिर भी इसके मेथड के अंदर जो है modernity is expressed in its presence of novelty for the new overall for bold over experiment or tried to raise novelty also reason effectual proof, but the effectual proof remains is rather than hot the way things actually work as opposed to should be. So I have moved that made all methodological innovations possible, namely being able to attempt to the rules of life solely from political rather than maybe able to spray of the effectual proof from the judgment towards to be good, you have to break away. What's not using the problem. One experience from second new principles and the office and the water politics of local art, he was a developer in NASA films. In fact, the most of the combination with the G7% ज़्यादा डिटेल में बहुत ज़्यादा लोगों के नाम go there. मोटा-मोटा इसका समझ में आ गया है. बाकी जो है क्वेश्चन से समझ में आ गया. Which of the following can be inferred from third paragraph? Third paragraph is straight away something. Idea that Machiavelli is the founder of modern politics by his self-evident. None of the bold experimental moves more figures with this first kind of follow the tradition genre goes back. The author does not expect the founder of field for study to be non-traditional in the work. Does not expect. Is the founder. He seems to make none of these. So he expects. So this is not correct. Unlike Hobbes, Machiavelli broke away from the traditional authority. So Hobbes की बात की more frequently associated with this. His most famous book follow the tradition goes that take the form of commentary from this. What could be his Machiavelli? इसमें ये नहीं दिखाई कि Hobbes did Hobbes break away. उसको सिर्फ ये बोला कि seems like none of the bold experimental moves. So Machiavelli broke away from traditional authority. ये Hobbes के बारे में नहीं बताया. The second is again a trap. The author expects the work of the founder of the field to study to be experimental. Yes, the founder जो है the idea that Machiavelli is the founder is by no means self-evident, means कि बिल्कुल है ऐसा as per author is the founder and he seems to make none of the bold experimental. That means author expect that founder of modern political science should make bold experimental moves. Therefore, this looks okay. He's called the founder of modern political science not because he's iconoclast, because of his methodological. नहीं ऐसा कुछ नहीं, iconoclast जैसी कोई बात नहीं. C looks okay again. Let's go चलते हैं. What is the primary aspect of Machiavelli's work that sets it apart from the work of others before him? So he highlighted that statement should be revolutionary and not merely reformer. तो यहाँ पे बताया हुआ revolutionary, this prince who follows will not be a reformer but revolutionary. Okay, ये he stayed away from prescribing how things should be and how focused things are. ये भी लिखा हुआ है यहाँ पे. The knowledge of is rather than ought. ये भी लिखा हुआ है. He paid attention to free personality of the men and value of private life. तो free personality of men ये कहीं तो लिखा हुआ था. तो ठीक है. Free personality लिखा हुआ है यहाँ पे. Free personality and new attention to the value of private life. Okay. We devise the rule of politics solely from political angle. So ये भी लिखा हुआ है कि यहाँ पे वो solely from the political life attempts to determine solely from political. पॉइंट एक से चारों ही लग रहे हैं, लेकिन इसमें एक आंसर ही सही होना चाहिए. तो वो आंसर कौन सा? प्राइमरी एस्पेक्ट ऑफ वर्क. यहाँ पे चारों हैं. प्राइमरी एस्पेक्ट क्या है? वेरी इफेक्चुअल टू गिव नॉलेज इज rather not the way things actually should work as per the flow. This is the prior move that makes all later methodological innovations possible. This is the so ये this is the thing that made other innovation possible. And therefore, this we stayed away from how things should be and focus on how things are. Looks to be much better because बाकी की चीजें हमसे से follow हुई हैं. Therefore, we will not disturb. Which of the following can be inferred but to be the meaning of being good from the fourth paragraph? Being good means कि moral होना, ethical होना होगा. ये लिखा है praise of the effective who succeeds must learn how not to be good. Learn to break from traditional established. ठीक है. Good means sticking to the established rules and conventions. Not being good is breaking established rules and conventions. So we should expect to find an option here which says good means breaking away from tradition. That's option B. Try again. Both sacrificing one's own well-being for the sake of others, acting in a manner that destroys existing conventions. Acting in a manner that destroys existing conventions, destroyed was strong word. Acha, okay. So this is being good nahi hai. This is not being good. So therefore this is not correct. Not being good बोलता तो मान देते हैं. So this thing desired product नहीं. Confirming the set मिल गया. Confirming the set rules means being good. That means establishing, going by the tradition. So this looks okay. Market and move ahead. Which of the following is true of Machiavelli's prince as can be inferred from the paragraphs 4 and 5 of the passage? 4 and 5. 4 and 5 में क्या दिया? Machiavelli's prince has the exact characteristics as those Machiavelli's prince has the exact characteristics of the great founder legislators. So, already new conception of new prince, who is bringers of new order, someone on the order of the great founder legislators of past like this. Machiavelli's prince has the exact characteristics. Exact nahi, someone, so who is bringer, someone on the order of the great founder. On the order means uske jaise. So exact characteristic nahi, only not correct. Unlike the great founder legislators, prince is open to framing rules, new rules, and does not confine himself to existing rules. So clarity. Unlike the great, alluded to a new highly idealized conception of the statement. This fact is obscured by the reference. Machiavelli's appeal to these classical models conceal the fact that its prince expressed a new highly idealized conception of the statement at once individual, autonomous, and self-legislative. ये ठीक लग रहा है यहाँ पे exactly इसका मैच मिल गया हमको. Machiavelli the prince is an amalgamation of life lessons. ऐसा तो नहीं बोल रहा है. Amalgamation of life lessons. Okay, so this is 4 to round. So between 2 and 4, let's be better लग रहा है because यहाँ पे clear लग रहा है. Highly idealized conception of the statement. So okay, now we have 14 minutes left. Let's go to the second वाली better लग रही है. देखते हैं first वाली के अंदर never leave an idea Ideal plane inserted in the realm of reality. Novel one is a legend. Cervantes wrote Don Quixote takes pleasure in confusing the objective and subjective. Why the reader and why the book. Those chapters in Don Quixote which argue whether the barber's placing the helmet in donkey's back side of the street probably judged with explicitly other passages insinuate this. The sixth chapter for the priest and the barber inspect Don Quixote, finding out the books examined his criteria and stands the barber is friend the author does not admire the image, but the barber a dream or the form of a dream passes judgment of Cervantes. Okay. तो नॉवल के अंदर ही इनको नॉवल का रेफरेंस मिल रहा है नॉवल के अंदर ही ऐसे कैरेक्टर हैं जो कि कुछ उन्हीं की बात कर रहे हैं समथिंग लाइक दैट दिस प्ले ऑफ स्ट्रेंज एम्बिग्यूटीज कल्मिनेट्स इन द सेकंड पार्ट द प्रोटैगनिस्ट हैव read the part and protagonist don't picture at the same time readers of the here it is immediately because the Shakespeare include on the stage of Hamlet on the stage where tragedy more or less like the Hamlet is presented imperfect corresponding to the principle of the second level lessen the efficacy of this include but the genre is created by the accident in 1001 and nights. Further, Nights is an overdetermined narrative of magic, adventure, parable, poetry that duplicates and reduplicates the concept of vertigo, the ramifications, central story in later, but not ready to relate its reality in the effect is superficial like a personal character. The story of the series is well known. The terrible pleasure of a king who married marry the virgin with them decapitated at dawn, decapitated dawn, the resolution of Scheherazade, who distract the king with the fables and 1001 nights gone. She had left the wheel obliged the story many copies to make numerous interpolations, one of which marks it. This involves story of 600 and second night, magical among the nights. That night king hears from queen almost ready, is ready with another monastery itself. So the heroine contrives and elaborate attacks in the potentially unengaged internal. The going into the narrative through what brought clear the story of the king here to monastery. So he's telling itself does the reader feel the vast possibility in the period danger. The queen may purchase the motionless thing here. Forever the truncated story of this now infinite and circular. ये इन्फिनिट और सर्कुलर चलता रहेगा वो उसमें उसकी स्टोरी 60 सेकंड नाइट पे वो स्टोरी सुना रही है कि ऐसा ऐसा होता है और फिर उसमें 60 सेकंड नाइट पे आ जाएगी और फिर उसमें वो उसको सुनाएगी वो स्टोरी और फिर 60 सेकंड नाइट तो दिस विल बी अ इन्फिनिट एंड सर्कुलर थिंग व्हाई डज इट डिस्टर्ब विद दिस 1001 nights to be included in this book why does it disturb with John Pivot to be reader of it and because these inversions suggest that if the characters of fictional work can be readers or spectators we readers or spectators can be fictitious ओके तो हम भी मतलब बेसिकली हो सकता है कि एक टीचर ही क्या पता हम असली में एग्जिस्ट ही ना कर रहे हैं तो ये एक पॉसिबिलिटी आ जाती है इसीलिए डिस्टर्ब करती है हमको ठीक है ओके तो इंटरेस्टिंग है लिटिल मोर डिफिकल्ट देन द यूजुअल वन क्लासिक में ये कहा जा रहा है कि अगर आपके नॉवल में या आपके ड्रामा में आप ही को देखा जाए आपके कैरेक्टर ही उसका पार्ट बन जाते हैं तो देन क्रिएट्स प्रॉब्लम्स ठीक है लेट्स गो टू द क्वेश्चंस हियर which of the following choices best captures the central theme of the passage fiction can delve into the domain of reality. इसमें reality की fiction नहीं आया कहीं पे भी. Work of art involves a judicious sense of fantasy. There can be vice versa relationship between fiction and the reader's story. I think this looks okay because यहाँ पे end में दिया हुआ if the characters of fictional work can be readers or then readers or spectators can be fictitious. Fictional elements make their appearance in real world as frequently as slice of reality appears in fiction. As frequently ऐसा कुछ नहीं है. We can't create the theme इसमें instances बताया doesn't mean that it is very frequent. So we will go with 3 here. What is the primary purpose that 1001 nights excerpt serves in the passage? 1001 night का जो excerpt है ये क्यों बताया इसने? So something similar is created by an accident in 1001 nights. What is created? Inevitable to recall who includes on the stage of Hamlet another stage where tragedy more or less like that of Hamlet's presented imperfect corresponding with principle in secondary law lessens the efficacy of this inclusion. ओके तो यहाँ पे एग्जांपल दिया है कि इसने जो किया वो इतने अच्छे से नहीं किया और उसके कारण उसकी एफिकेसी रिड्यूस हो गई तो इसी तरह की चीजें 1001 नाइट्स में भी हुई तो इट इंक्लूड्स अ पैरेलल पॉइंट ऑफ डिस्कशन टू जस्टिफाई द सेंट्रल थीम जस्टिफाई द सेंट्रल थीम लग रहा है क्या it establishes a correlation with the Barber example. Barber example is a correlation. Explores the answer to the question posed in class. Brings in themes from history to add an exclusive outlook to the passage. It brings in themes from history to add an exclusive outlook to the passage. Let's go to the next question. All the following statement can be understood through proof of the passage except Shakespeare's Hamlet is mentioned in the passage to portray the characters of Hamlet as spectators. Yes, ये तो ठीक लिखा। जो गैलाटिया माइंड मेंशन इन अदर बुक वेयर इट इज डिस्पैरेज्ड, ये भी लिखा हुआ है गैलाटिया के बारे में कि वन ऑफ द बुक्स एग्जामिन्ड इज ओन गैलाटिया, और वो अच्छी नहीं लगी मुझे, ये भी दिया हुआ। द boldface sentence serves as a prelude to what comes next. How different works characters insert word. The barber, a dream, passes judgment on Cervantes. So what comes next in the passage? How different characters insert. Yes, यही लग रहा है ठीक है। Persian carpet is mentioned to represent the diverse nature of stories that are spun together to form a colorful tapestry. ये तो यहाँ पे इसमें क्या लिखा है कि ramification does not adequate and the effect which should have been profound is superficial like a पर्शियन कारपेट। तो पर्शियन कारपेट को सुपरफिशियल बोला जाता है। यहाँ पे पर्शियन कारपेट जो है वो एक कलरफुल और पॉजिटिव टोन बता रहा है, यहाँ पे पर्शियन कारपेट को नेगेटिव बताएगा, तो इसलिए ये डेफिनेटली मुझे लग रहा है कि इसको डी पे मार्क कर देते हैं। All of the following are true about 1001 Nights except the king takes a bride as bride, a virgin every night, has a slave in the morning। बिल्कुल ठीक है, तो बोल रहा है having married Shehrazad succeeds in entertaining the king with the stories for 1001 nights। Having married the king succeeds in entertaining the king with the stories for 1001 nights। Who distract the king with her fables until 1001 nights have gone by and she shows him their son। ये तो ठीक बोल रहा है, ठीक है। Several supporting stories attempt to reiterate and follow the impact of the principal plot, but it turns out the latter is given a perfunctory treatment। ये भी बोल रहा है यहाँ पे। Sheer length of the video has many copyists to make numerous, and one of which marks a perturbing turn in this already vertiginal perfection, which involves this। तो ये बोल रहा है कि यहाँ पे कुछ मजा नहीं आया इसमें स्टोरी में, तो ये भी लग रहा है कि दिया हुआ। Sheer length of the piece led to the preclusion of perturbing elements from the sequence of events। Led to the preclusion means they did not include perturbing elements। perturbing elements तो include किए हैं इसमें। So ये तो दिख रहा है, ये कुछ ये नहीं नहीं। Having married succeeds, so ठीक है। Sheer length of the piece led to the preclusion of certain perturbing elements। Let's go to this question. Includes a parallel funnel discussion to justify the scientific which establishes a correlation in clear second way. Primary purpose is parallel point of discussion to justify the central theme, establish a correlation with the answer to the question. Using themes from history to add an exclusive outlook to the passage. Towards the answer to the question for the last text. We have sometimes just primary purpose towards okay. So maybe guess what किया है यहाँ पे देख लेते हैं quickly। We have got 6 minutes left। Wittgenstein is one of the most influential philosophers of indirectly regarded person, one of the most important work culminated in Tractatus, only philosophy book. Yet in this McLuhan does not that life work is opposed to spirit very long vast. It 50 years we see the feeling the spinning is the type of justified if we want to be able to describe the science of scientism, where every intelligent question is a scientific। ठीक है, तो इसमें मुश्किलें दिख रहे हैं। Many questions to which we do not have scientific answer, not because they are deep, simply because they are not scientific questions। We include questions about love, art, how it interpreted to the laser was that creates values like we can we get for these systems come up with a tenable scientific answer of the concept of the never seen from that to the stream, and we can there some cooking suppose we discover that this should be understanding is scientifically only kind of understanding। Okay, okay. Well, you might ask what other kind is there, and that is the greatest number of achievement। changes between the scientific function, not the theory but an activity. Where the function. The greater the idea is welcome within the ineffability. The difference between science and philosophy is not believed in two distinct forms of understanding, the theoretical and non-theoretical science understanding given from the testing purposes. Scientific की बात की ये वो इसको ठीक है मेटा का तो समझ देख लिया कहाँ पे क्या है क्वेश्चंस के थ्रू देखते हैं टाइम नहीं है ज़्यादा तो क्वेश्चंस के थ्रू और समझ लेंगे जहाँ पे क्वेश्चंस हमें दिखेंगे वहाँ वहाँ पे समझ लेंगे यहाँ जिस पार्ट से लिया गया है वो अकॉर्डिंग टू पैसे द ऑथर asserts it was talking about Wittgenstein the proposition in practice are nonsensical ऐसा तो कहाँ बोल रहा है the only philosophy book during his lifetime. It's more important. It's like a very fascinating. Wittgenstein endorsed the view of scientific. No, not at all. He was opposed to scientific. Wittgenstein was deviated from analytical tradition of philosophy. नहीं ऐसा तो कुछ नहीं है deviated from analytical work of philosophy. Wittgenstein's style of thinking was at odds with the style that dominates era. बिल्कुल ठीक है ठीक है तो अभी इस era में चल रही है okay. Much to shape his later work has done much to shape subsequent development, especially in analytic. तो ये analytic का debate नहीं होता है इसलिए ये गलत है और D is the right answer. What is the passage develop this theory against which notion? The notion that deep penetrable mysteries can be explained by science. The notion that answer to any question must have a scientific basis. Yes, ये लिखा हुआ है scientific basis. ये second paragraph में मिलेगा हमको कि view that every interview question has a scientific solution. It is against this view that Wittgenstein satisfies the notion that answer to any question from any discipline must have a scientific basis. Yes. This looks okay. One is not okay. One vessel accepts that. One is not okay. Because there is two answers no. No. Second, any question now. Let's go to which of the following can be correctly inferred into connected para. Connected para क्या है? What can answer is the most elected and changes means not theory but an activity. Behaviorally opposed scientific model support it. No, not at all. It can support. कहाँ बोल रहा है support here? It will agree that scientific theory was the only kind of understanding. No, not at all. Believe that science was an experimental. Physics was purely theoretical. No, physics, philosophy is not a theory. So philosophy was pure theory. ये भी गलत हो गया. Believe that certain propositions in the tractatus pull the rug from under their own feet. Yes. The clarity achieved, which once again would leading us and compare his own philosophy ladder, which is thrown away once it is used. Okay, आपने एक ladder use किया और इसी को फेंक दिया. Believe that certain propositions tractatus pull the rug from under their own feet. This looks okay. What is the correct difference between science and philosophy as can be understood from later work? We discussed in the last part. Later work abandoned the idea of logical form. Difference is now believed as two distinct forms, the theoretical and non-theoretical. Scientific understanding construction non-theoretical. So philosophical understanding involves the testing of hypothesis and theory. It's non-theoretical. Understanding are too far apart. Philosophy deals with the correct interpreting logical forms, not at all. Logical forms to abandon the idea of logical form. Deals purely with the understanding of theoretical. बिल्कुल गलत है. वो second looks to be the only correct answer. Understanding are too far apart to have common ground. Okay, so this turned out to be an easy passage if you ask me. शुरू में लगा था कि बहुत डिफिकल्ट होगा लेकिन इसमें क्वेश्चन जो दिए गए थे वो बड़े आसान है और वो क्लियरली डिफरेंट पार्ट्स ऑफ पैसेज दिए गए तो अब इसमें हम मुझे एक तो सेकंड यहाँ पे डाउट था वो एक इसको देख लेते हैं अगर इसमें कुछ लगा सकते हैं तो Athenian demo. Democracy began with the creation of a communal capable of political agency. It was sustained for nearly 2 centuries. But what gave it seniority power of the political imagination to human? Well over 2 million later, were not these two clear conditions? Two clear conditions, not seriously. Not these two clear conditions, preconditions. Preconditions, not seriously. Community capable of political agency, effective defense of that community. The political experience will be rendered possible. There is no way of denying that experience in an uncontextual form. For the Athenian demo, the point of the absolute Athenian was precisely to live in freedom together. मुझे इसमें epitomizing the current contentious for be lost in this. So कुछ भी लगाना है वैसे तो फिफ्थ लगा देंगे क्या करेंगे कुछ नहीं समझ में आ रहा तो फिफ्थ लगा देंगे. Okay, that's it. Maybe the primary purpose but the questions of a doubt लग रहा है wait for ठीक है we don't have time so we have to give time. Okay, so that's it. All right, so let's let's stop this sharing here. Alright, so I hope you learned something out of the session. तो देखिए कैसे मैंने इसको let me just quickly recap. अभी क्या होगा, क्या रिजल्ट आएगा, क्या नहीं आएगा, we'll have to wait and see. I'll definitely share with you all. But the point is that if you had followed what I was doing, तो मैंने पहले तो सारे के सारे आरसीज देख लिए क्विकली कि मुझे बीए में ताकि कितना टाइम लगना चाहिए. तो अगर जैसे कि मैंने देखा कि आरसीज थोड़ा सा डिफिकल्ट साइड में, डेफिनेटली दे वर मच मोर डिफिकल्ट compared to some previous AIMCATs. So I knew that मुझे बीए को 10 मिनट में मैक्सिमम खत्म करना पड़ेगा. तो बीए में जब जाके when I started, when I तो doing okay, but still उसमें एक क्वेश्चन अटक गया था, तो I left it there. So in 10 minutes, थोड़ा सा I think I exceeded the time that I set for myself, and then I went to the RC. और RC में ठीक ठीक चले, ऐसा कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं हुई. लग रहे थे आरसीज की बहुत ज्यादा डिफिकल्ट, थोड़े एब्स्ट्रैक्ट टाइप के, लेकिन होता क्या है कि आपने इतने सारे आरसीज कर रखे हैं हर बारे में. जैसे पब्लिक डिप्लोमेसी वाला पहला था, फिर मेकियावेली वाला था. तो मेकियावेली के बारे में बहुत सारे पैसेज कर रखे हैं, तो आपको पता है ब्रॉडली उसका थीम क्या होता है, व्हाट काइंड ऑफ पैसेज में क्या हो सकता है, आपको पता रहता है मोस्टली. तो इसलिए इट्स इजियर टू क्विकली कॉम्प्रीहेंड. अदरवाइज समबडी माइट थिंक कि ये थोड़ा इतना टेंस और इतना ये है, एकदम से आप कैसे इसको पढ़ के दिमाग में फिगर आउट कर लेते. तो वो इसीलिए होता है बिकॉज we've done so many passages. उसमें मेकियावेली के ऊपर ही इटसेल्फ आई थिंक उसकी प्रिंस और उसकी जो पॉलिटिकल फिलोसफी है, और उसके ऊपर मल्टीपल पैसेजेस बीन डन. एंड देन वी केम टू दैट फर्स्ट वन व्हिच वाज ऑफ कोर्स, जिसमें उन्होंने डिफरेंट एक तो जिसमें उसने किताब के अंदर वही कैरेक्टर, जो किताब में कोई कैरेक्टर्स वही पढ़ रहे, डॉन विग्जोर के अंदर जो उसने बताया था कि कैरेक्टर है, फिर शेक्सपियर के हैमलेट में बता दिया, और फिर उसके बाद में एंड में उसने 1001 नाइट्स में बताया था. तो दैट वाज लिटिल डिफरेंट फ्रॉम व्हाट वी नॉर्मली रीड. उस तरह का वैसे पढ़ा नहीं लग रहा है, बट स्टिल क्वेश्चंस पर एक दो क्वेश्चंस में ट्रिकी थे, बट बाकी क्वेश्चन ठीक थे. और उसके बाद जो विटगेन्स्टाइन वाली थी, तो वो बहुत आई थिंक दैट वाज अ वेरी स्ट्रेट फॉरवर्ड थिंग कि विटगेन्स्टाइन की फिलोसफी जो थी वो साइंस के ऑपोजिट थी. जो दूसरी फिलोसफी है वो कहती है एवरी क्वेश्चन शुड हैव अ साइंटिफिक एक्सप्लेनेशन. तो ये इसके अगेंस्ट था, तो दैट वाज द सेंटर डिवाइस. तो इसलिए उसको पकड़ने में आपको मुश्किल नहीं होगी. और उसके जो क्वेश्चन थे वो आपको स्ट्रेट फॉरवर्ड आपको एक एक एरिया में पैसेज के मिलते चले गए, तो आपने उसको आसानी से कर दिया. राइट, एंड आई थिंक दैट टुक द मिनिमम अमाउंट टाइम, जबकि वो मुझे लग रहा था कि थोड़ी डिफिकल्ट निकली. तो ये भी होता है कि आपको सिर्फ पैसेज का कंटेंट देख के ही नहीं डर जाना है. यू नीड टू go to the question sometimes if you are not able to understand the passage बहुत डिटेल में एक बार पढ़ के क्वेश्चन पे जाके try to enhance your understanding. So that's it for today. I hope the session was useful. Thank you so much.